We treat the water to make it safe to drink. Our water tastes really good, and people want it to continue to taste good.
The majority of our water is actually Sierra snowmelt. The water treatment plants treat the water for things like metals, pesticides, bacteria.
The water quality when it comes in has various organics and turbidity that needs to be removed through the water treatment plant processes.
The San Pablo filter plant in the early 1920s used pretty much the same treatment that we're using today. Chlorination for disinfection and coagulation and sedimentation and filtration for particle removal. It's basically a concrete box full of sand. What we're trying to do here is remove particles from the water. And they're particles that are smaller than we can see with the human eye. The water's got dirt and microbes and particulates in it. We add coagulants to the water, which basically make those particulates a little bit bigger and stickier so we can filter them out with the sand that's in the box. We have a lot of devices to help us see them better, basically, to run the water through different kinds of analytical equipment that'll help us understand if we're doing a good enough job of removing those particulates. We have two different kinds of water treatment processes that we use here. The Walnut Creek, Lafayette, and Orinda filter plants are fairly simple filtration and disinfection processes because that water is fairly pure. We get most of our water from Pardee, on average about 90%. The Sobrante, San Pablo, and Upper San Leandro filter plants have a few more steps. There's coagulation, flocculation, and sedimentation processes there. Sobrante and Upper San Leandro have ozone as well, because the water that's stored in the East Bay reservoirs has more particulate matter and more organic carbon that has to be removed. It does rain here in the East Bay, and we capture that local runoff in Upper San Leandro and San Pablo reservoirs. And that water we have the rights to, and we use that for drinking water treatment. Algae grow in those reservoirs. Algae can impart some pretty smelly compounds into the water. So we have ozone at those plants. And what that does is it allows us to provide as high a quality water to all of our customers as we get from the aqueduct plants that generally don't have algae in them.
We're here at Orinda Water Treatment Plant. This is the largest of EBMUD 6 water treatment plants with a capacity of 200 million gallons per day. All of them use Pardee, and then Orinda supplements with Briones water. We treat it here, it's filtered, treated with chemicals, and it's sent out into the urban East Bay to Berkeley and Oakland and surrounding areas. So in order to keep this treatment plant running, we need support from electricians, mechanics, instrument technicians, aqueduct staff, water distribution operators, water quality staff, laboratory technicians, and several other positions. This is Lafayette Water Treatment Plant. The water flows down from Pardee via two aqueducts, Lafayette 1 and Lafayette 2. And this plant is in service usually 8 months of the year, so it's the only one of the inline treatment plants that is seasonal. The water here serves the local Lafayette community.
Hi, here we are at Sobrante Water Treatment Plant. This plant takes the raw water from the San Pablo Reservoir and also water from Pardee mixed together. We clean it up and treat it to meet state and EBMUD regulations. The water will come through the aerators to get some of the taste and odor out. It also gives us a good indication of the current water quality. If we notice the smell changing or something, that will help us make plans on how we're going to change the chemical feeds. Operators manage the chemical doses given to the water. One of the things the water treatment operators do is we coordinate with the Operations Control Center. They determine the reservoir levels throughout the distribution system, and when they get low, they'll ask us to produce more water or produce less.
We are responsible for the public health of 1.4 million people, and we take that seriously. We are worried about things like wildfires in the watershed. We're worried about all different sorts of contaminants that may be introduced.
We are an environmental company, and we are a public health company. That is what we do. I don't think you can be in the water business and not care about the environment.
Everything you see surrounding San Pablo Reservoir is a watershed. So we manage all these lands so we have less erosion, less sediment, and really our job is to protect this reservoir.
One of our core values is environmental stewardship, and the 30,000 acres of watershed here is basically the filter between the people and the water.
What I like about being a ranger is that this is my office.
We're unique in that we manage and protect our natural resource while providing a recreational area for the public. We're first responders to up to 1.4 million people annually, and our jobs vary day to day.
We do pile burning and vegetation removal. We build fences, we empty trash cans, we do environmental ed programs. So we try and make it a place for the public to enjoy. We keep grazing on the property because this whole environment evolved with the grazing animals.
The district is invested in protecting the natural systems because we recognize that those natural systems do really good at supporting water quality, and that's our number one business.
Our mission statement is to manage the natural resources, is to preserve and protect the environment, not just for the current generation, but for future generations.